Okay. Let's start reclining in the middle of your mat. If you've got props nearby that you want to use, just have them nearby. Otherwise, just lay back. You can extend your legs out in front of you, or if your low back is causing you any kind of issues, you can place a prop underneath your knees so that you've got a bend in your knees, release some tension in your low back. Or you can also simply bend your knees and place your feet about as wide as the mat and then let your knees knock in toward each other. Bring your arms out a little bit wider away from your torso, so you've got a little bit of space between your inner arms and the sides of your body. Allow your eye gaze to soften and then maybe even close your eyes. And then allow larger breaths than you might typically allow throughout your day. Become mindful of the inhales and the exhales. And let that be a point of focus. As you breathe in, what is the temperature of the air that's coming through your nostrils or through your mouth? What does it feel like as your clothes shift on your body? And when you exhale again, is there a change in temperature as the air exits your body? Are you feeling a difference in your belly, in your forehead, in your neck, in your arms? Is there any kind of transmission of tension when you inhale and exhale? Are you noticing any specific muscles changing as you breathe? And then give yourself an opportunity to scan your body from the very top of your head, going all the way down, simply noticing, becoming aware. And then take that same scan starting from the bottom of your feet, maybe the tips of your toes, coming up all the way through your body and eventually making your way through the crown of your head. And then I'd like to invite you to set a dedication or intention for this practice. Maybe something that you've been working on for some time. And if you're looking for anything else, my invitation to you is to simply be. Not do, not try. Just be. Allow yourself to meet yourself where you are right now. It doesn't have to be more or less than simply what it is. And then we'll take a couple breaths together as a community. Take a deep breath in. Feel that expansion again. Notice the sensation of temperature, of shifting of clothing, muscles changing. Hold at the very top for a moment. And then exhale, release it out. Maybe sigh it through parted lips or through your nose, whatever feels best right now. Come to the very bottom of your exhale. And then another deep breath in together. Fill up all the way. Pausing at the top and then exhale, let it go. Once more like that for yourself. And then a couple times we're going to take what's called a box breath. So take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at bottom 1, 2, 3, 4. Twice more like that, your own breath. At the very end of that sequence, Bend your knees and gently pull your knees into your chest. Take your hands to your shins or the backs of your thighs. You can rock a little bit left and right if that feels okay. Back, a little bit of massage. So the looser grip you have, the more the massage you'll get. The tighter grip you have, the more you'll have into your hip flexors. So just try it out and see what is working best for you right now. Option to keep your eyes open or closed here. Keeping your knees bent, place your feet onto the mat. Make sure that your feet are about hips width distance apart, so that's just in line with your knees. Arms alongside your body. First thing, press the back of your head into the mat to lift up your upper back. Slide your shoulder blades down. Your palms are down. We'll take a bridge flow here. On an inhale, lift up your hips and your arms. Reach up and back until the backs of your hands might touch the mat behind you. Maybe lift up your heels. On an exhale, reverse that path. Roll down your spine. Take your hands back down, heels down. Inhale, lift up hips and arms, lift up and back, maybe lift up heels. Exhale, roll it all the way back down, twice more, just like that. Can you keep your inhales about the same as your exhales? And then once you come back to that position, we're going to take a more active bridge pose. So maybe walk your feet in closer to you so that your fingertips about could touch the backs of your heels or about in that same plane. Press down through the tops of your feet and your shoulder blades down. Inhale, lift your hips up. You can continue to press against the mat with your hands, or you can come onto the outsides of your hands, so your pinky edge, press down. Really engage your core. So you're trying to reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees while you still press through your shoulders. Option to take it deeper if you would like. Roll your shoulder blades underneath you, clasping your hands. Press your pinkies down, forearms down to the mat. Just breathe. Notice if your knees are starting to splay out and see if you can realign them again. So you've got a really long line, tops of your thighs. Send your gaze up toward the ceiling. Simply breathe. See if here in this position you can find the same long breath. And then on an exhale, when you're ready, if you took that clasp, start to unravel it, unwind, and then we'll all roll your back onto your mat. Lift your heels as you come all the way down, and then drop both feet down to the mat. Separate your feet so they're a little bit wider, almost as wide as your mat. Knock both knees over to the right, send your gaze over to the left. 3 breaths. All right, then take your knees up to center, knock both knees over to the opposite side, send your gaze to the right, 3 breaths. And then take your knees back up to center. We're gonna come to a seated posture. You can take your hands to backs of thighs, rock up and down like the spine, or simply roll over onto one side, totally up to you how you want to get there. We're gonna first come into a sukhasana position just for a couple twists here to get ourselves warmed up through the sides of our body. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up, gaze up, maybe palms press. On an exhale, twist to your right, to your left fingertips, to your knee, right fingertips behind you. Stay in this position. Inhale, get a little bit taller, send the weight more to your left hip. Exhale, twist more deeply. Start at belly, then towards your chest, and then through your cervical spine, looking over through your right shoulder. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Every inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, twist. After that second time, on an inhale, come back to center. Arms lift, really unravel. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. So hand to knee, and then other fingertips behind you. Always an option to have your fingertips on a prop instead. Again, shifting the weight a little bit more toward the right hip as you twist. Make sure that you start at the base of your belly first. Final inhale. Final exhale, back to center, arms lift. Palms press on an exhale, bring your hands in toward your heart center. And then switch out the cross of your legs so you come in the other sukhasana side. So you just got maybe the awkward leg on the other side. We're gonna take gomukhasana arms here. So you're going to sweep your right elbow underneath you. Either hands to your shoulders, backs of hands together, or reach the palms of your hands together. So if you've got any kind of double hand arm twist, bring your elbows up in line with your shoulders and bring your palms away from you. So elbows up, palms away, lift up to the crown of your head. And also press your hands together and your elbows together. All right, soften all that tension, unravel, reach arms out and up once again. Exhale, hands to your heart center in an Anjali Mudra. And then we're gonna take the other side. So this time your left elbow is underneath. If it feels oddly familiar, just switch out the other sides. So again, hands to shoulders, and you bring your elbows up in line, and then you press your elbows together, or wrap once, wrap twice. Elbows in line with shoulders, palms moving away from your head. Press your palms toward each other, your elbows toward each other, elbows away from you. Soften through your face, through your jaw. Find that tension. So that on an exhale, you can release it, get soft. Once again, unravel, lift arms out and up. Exhale, hands towards your heart center, pressing your palms together, and then rock over onto your hands and knees for a tabletop pose. So first we're gonna take a couple cow and cat here. So inhale, drop your belly, lift up your hips and your heart, gaze up. Exhale, press your hands and knees, arch your spine, look back towards your knees. Inhale, swim your heart forward again for a cow pose. Exhale, press up and back for your cat. One more round like that, your breath. And then after your cat pose with that rounded spine, you're gonna come back to the tabletop position. We're gonna take a pose here called anahatasana. Sometimes it's called puppy dog pose, or melting heart. So anahatasana is heart pose. So you're going to start to make sure you have a strong belly here. So pull your belly button up towards your your spine rather. And I don't mean to like suck in your gut. I really mean to just like engage all of those muscles. So again, that hip tips moving up to rib tips. Take your right hand out towards, maybe not all the way to the right corner of your yoga mat, left hand up. Wrap your inner elbows up. We're gonna try to keep your hips over your knees and not shift too far back or too far forward. But with your hands right here, fingertips spread really wide, you're gonna start to dip your chest down toward the mat. You might not go very far. You might come all the way down where your chin's resting. Remember, wrap your inner elbows upward, press down through the mat with your shins and the tops of your feet or your toes, whatever's more comfortable, fingertips spread really wide. Breathe, notice if your jaw is getting tense. Notice if your forehead is starting to lift up, allow those to become soft. Maintain that belly strength. All right, and then on an exhale, really press down through your hands and your shins, start to lift your way back up. And then start to walk your hands back so that they are underneath your shoulders and you're in tabletop again. From here, take a cat pose. We're gonna hold in this cat pose. So arch your spine, press through hands and shins, look towards your knees or maybe even towards your belly. As you can tell, my voice gets really funny here and the crown of my head is pointing all the way to the mat. I'm reaching my shoulder blades away from each other. That's how much I'm pressing down with my hands. It's an intense pose. And then when you're ready, return back to that neutral posture. If it feels good to take a little bit of a cow pose rather, please take that. All right. So you're coming back into this tabletop pose. You're going to shift the weight to your left leg. So sometimes it helps to tuck your toes for more balance. It really depends on what's working best for your knee. You're going to lift up your right leg. So, another kind of dog pose. And then just start to move your knee in circles. If you need to move your elbows to help you find that balance, that's cool. Take it a circle or several circles rather, in the opposite direction. You might start to notice that your left leg is getting a little fatigued. That's fine, it's part of the game. All right, now extend your right leg out to the side. I'm gonna change my view so you can see. So I'm gonna place my foot onto the mat. I might need a little bend in my knee to make sure that I've got this secure. And then I'm going to start to press my way up. It's okay to send your hips back for some balance. First, start with my hands on my hips. I'm going to lift up. Awesome. If you ever need to pivot the back foot, totally fine. Option to take this a little bit further. Inhale your arms up toward the ceiling. Wrap your pinkies toward each other. Shoulder blades are down. And then start to arc your right arm over toward the extended leg. Keep pressing through the right foot and the top of the left foot or toes if that is better. Notice if your rib cage is jutting out. If so, draw it back in. Maybe you can look underneath your arm toward the ceiling. Big breaths. Feel the side of your rib cage, left side of your body. Find space. And then on an exhale, lift back up, hands to your hips. So things are going to get interesting right here. I'm going to pivot my left leg in just a little bit. I'm going to take my left hand down. Option to have a prop here if you'd like it. So I'm getting kind of like into like an Ardha Chandrasana shape here, or even a side plank. Option, you can stay right here or lift up your right leg. So I've got my left wrist below my left shoulder, left knee below my hip. Find some activity through your right leg, the one that is lifted. And then if you'd like even more challenge, lift up right fingertips. So everything that is touching mat is pressing down. Everything that is up is lifting away from you. Simply breathe. All right, and then when you're ready, on an exhale, you're gonna come forward back to a tabletop position. A couple cow and cat here. Drop belly, lift up your hips and heart. You might feel this a lot through your right hip. Exhale, press through hands and knees. Lift that towards your knees for the cat. One more round, cow and cat. All right, then come back to the neutral pose. We're gonna take the same thing on the opposite side. So shift the weight over onto your right leg. Left leg comes out. Start to move your knee in circles. So first we're simply exploring range of motion. Maybe notice if this is different than the other side. Maybe you're like, oh, forgot to pay attention. If so, no big deal. And then take some circles in the opposite leg. All right, and then we're gonna move toward that gate pose once again. Extend the left leg out so that your toes are facing in the same line as your nose toward the front of your mat. Right foot is behind you, toes tucked or untucked. Start to press your hands to your hips to lift up. Square your hips best you can toward the front. It's totally fine if you're like hooked a little bit toward the left, toward that extended leg. Extend arms up toward the ceiling. And once again, drop your shoulder blades down. Your pinkies wrapped in toward each other is going to help facilitate this. So you're wrapping your biceps back. Breathe. And then if you want to take it further, left hand down toward left thigh. Lift up on your left kneecap. So you're really engaging your quadriceps as you arc over to the left, reaching your right fingertips up and over. So again, try to avoid your shoulder coming up towards your ear. Your shoulder's moving away from your ear as your arm is extending away. Again, deeper stretch to these intercostal muscles. On your next exhale, press everything that's touching the mat to lift up. And then hands back to your hips. We're going to move into that supported side plank posture once again. So the leg that has got the weight on it, your knee, you can come down, fit it around, or keep your leg as it is. This is going to be slightly more challenging to have your knee, foot right below, behind your knee rather. Lean over, right hand comes down, either onto a block or onto finger pads, or all the way down. Stay right here, or if you like, lift up left leg. Point, flex, point. And then if you want, left fingertips come up, reminiscent of an Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe. I know. And then on an exhale, let everything come back down to that hands and knees, tabletop pose. Oh my goodness. Flow through a few cow and cat, your own breath. And then let's take a child's pose. So toes together, heels slightly apart, so you can shift your hips back toward your heels and then drop your chest down. If this doesn't quite feel right on your hips, then you can bring your knees together. So your whole belly and chest is on your knees, or find another pose entirely that feels restful. Perhaps that's sitting back in a sukhasana pose. Let everything go soft. Let all the muscles in your outer hips, in your glutes, in your core, everything get soft. Return back to that long, deep breath. Return to be. Maybe you go to left. On an inhale, come up to tabletop pose. Realign your knees so that your shins are parallel to each other and your heels are in line with your hips. Walk your hands out about a handprint and a half. So you've got a flat spine, and on an exhale, lower all the way down to your mat, all the way to your belly, elbows pointing up toward the ceiling. Press through the tops of your feet. Elbows point up. We're going to take a cobra pose. Inhale, wave your shoulders up and back, lift up, press through the tops of your feet, even the pinkies. See if here even you can reach your tailbone towards the backs of your heels. Notice what happens. You might lift up a little bit more, activated your core. Exhale, wave it all the way back down. Take your right cheek to the mat, 2 breaths. Take your chin back to center. Elbows point up once again. Inhale, roll your way up to your cobra pose. So we're gonna add a little bit more intensity. You're gonna take your hands and then drag them along the mat so you're not actually moving your hands, but you've got that energy. So you're pulling back. You might find that your chest comes forward. You're trying to feel that feeling like your collarbones can become wider. Keep pressing through the outer edges of your feet. Everything is touching the mat. Lift up on your kneecaps, exhale, release it all the way down. Left cheek to the mat. Get soft. Maybe let your heels drop out to the side, 2 breaths. Last time like that, take your, actually we're gonna change it up, sorry, kind of last time like that. Take your chin back to center. Take your hands behind you so they're lengthy. So you're going to reach your shoulders up and back. Lift your hands up away from the mat. Reach your hands back. So you're lifting up through your chest. You can stay right here. Send your gaze long. Try not to crane your head up too much. So you're looking just beyond your yoga mat. And if you'd like to take it even further, lift up your legs. Point your toes. Breathe. Reach your hands back. Reach your toes back. And then on an exhale, release it all the way down. Take a cheek of your preference down to the mat. Let your tops of your hands press into the mat. Your palms are up. Heels drop out to the side. Just breathe. You might feel your heart beating into your mat. Notice the pressure of that. The rate. And just observe how that makes you feel. All right, then take your hands back alongside your body. Elbows point straight up. Engage your core. Then you're going to press up to your hands and knees once again. Cool. Press all the way back, and you're going to swing both legs around in front of you. We're going to take a janu sirsasana pose here. So if you'd like to use a strap instead of your hands, that's totally available to you, however you want to do it. I might just do a strap just so I can show you. So left leg extend out. And you're going to bend your right knee and place your right foot into your left thigh. So wobble a little bit from side to side and actually just like kind of grab your bum and your thighs and just like create a little bit of space because you want to feel secure here and you want to be able to really tilt forward. If you know that that's like a little bit tough sometimes, you can take something and set it underneath your bum, lift up, especially if you didn't have lower back pain. This might give you just a little bit of extra edge. So if you're using a strap, go ahead and grab it. Your left leg doesn't need to be completely straight. You're going to take the strap around the base of all your foot if you would like. Reach down. Inhale, lift up through your chest. And on an exhale, you're going to lean forward. If you're not using a strap, you're going to reach your hand for your thigh or calf or foot. Wherever you come, notice where you are. Flexing through your left foot. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Tilt your heart forward, toes reaching for your face, and on an exhale, you're going to reach your chin towards your shin. I realize that might be a tall order. Do what you can. This is where you are right now. Think of the long breath that you cultivated at the beginning of class. Invoke it here. All right, lift up halfway. And then exhale, completely release. We're gonna switch out the legs. Extend your right leg out in front of you, and then pull in the left foot into right thigh. Again, make whatever adjustments that you need. Maybe you're sitting up on a low prop. Flexing right toes toward your face. If you're using the strap, just place the strap around the base of the ball of your foot. So flex your toes, whether your right knee is straight or not, shoulder blades are on your back. Inhale, find length. And then on an exhale, you're going to hinge forward. You can grab the strap or take your hands toward your foot, calf, thigh. Notice where you are. And then we're actually going to exit, break the pose, inhale, lift up once again. Feel your right hip tuck back, and then reach your chin for your shin, really accentuating this posture. And breathe. If you notice that your back is slumping forward a lot, maybe come out a little bit and see if you can reach your heart forward instead. We will have an opportunity for a passive stretch in a few moments. Don't worry. All right, inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale, break the pose. Okay, we're gonna take two different versions of a forward fold. So you're gonna have both legs extended out in front of you. You just did a lot of stuff, so maybe find a little bit of movement, get the blood coming back into your legs. So rocking from side to side, so you can feel like your femurs rocking around, or just bounce your legs, whatever feels right to you. And I'm gonna take a forward fold. So the first one is going to be active, so sit up straight. So you've got your ears just about like your shoulders over your hips. This might mean that straight legs isn't quite accessible. That's totally fine. Still flex the toes towards your face. You're going to use your core simply to sit up. There's no way around it. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then on an exhale, you're going to reach your heart for your toes. Again, let your hands drop where they do. You can take a strap and then wrap them around the base of the ball of your foot. Okay, like we did before. Inhale, lift up halfway. Shoulders back, heart forward, and then exhale, start to hinge down. You might even want to consider bringing your chest to your thighs, and if you're like, that's madness, I cannot do that, bend your knees until your thighs reach your chest. And then basically, as you deepen the posture, eventually you'll press your heels out in front of you and your legs become straighter. So again, this is the active version of this posture. See if you can find some neutrality in your cervical spine. What I mean by that is you're not craning out to look up, and your back of your neck feels strained, and you're also not dropping your head. Keep the activity. Now you've been in this pose for a little while, maybe you can find that you can press your heels forward just a little bit. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, come up to seated. So we're going to stay here for just a moment. We're going to come to a Dandasana posture. So just kind of like we started before. Straight spine, this might mean bent knees. Maybe you can extend your legs. Arms are alongside your body. Shoulder blades are back. Knit your ribs in. So pull your hips towards your ribs. You can feel your core get strong. Again, that's the feeling of your belly button moving back to your spine. Lift up to the crown of your head. Maybe even push your chin in about 1/2 inch. Really long. Flex through your toes. Lift up on your kneecaps. We're in Dandasana pose. This is staff. And then on an exhale, release the pose. Let your kneecaps drop and kind of slump forward. So the slumping forward is what we're going to do next. We're going to take that forward fold posture that we've been doing, except you're going to just slump over and take the passive version of the stretch. I tend to find that this version is a little bit more difficult. So maybe you as well, maybe you're like, this is great. So you are going to inhale, lift up, just like we did for Dandasana. Come forward, your arms are alongside your legs or maybe on your shins, and then you're just going to stop trying. Your knees are gonna come up slightly, most likely, unless you're like super, super flexing, then your legs are straight. Drop your head. So just the weight of your head is down. Your arms are alongside your body. You're gonna have palms down or palms up, but see if you can do something where you're not holding on. If you're experiencing a sensation that is along the lines of pain and discomfort, opposed to just sensation and like, I love it, then you might want to place a pillow underneath your belly or a block underneath your forehead so you've got more support. There is a sensation that might not be your favorite thing. I know that's the case for me. So get to where you're going and then surrender into it. You've been here for a little while, is there something you're holding on to that you can let go of? Are you noticing that you're keeping your chest away from your thighs and maybe you can actually descend in? Are you keeping your head up more than you need? Are you clenching onto your fingers? Maybe you've decided to transmute some of that tension into your jaw, feet, forehead. Maybe you're clenching your eyes and crinkling them up. I'm nearly certain that there is a place where you can let go a little bit more. If your palms are facing up toward the ceiling, place them down. Keep your head very heavy, and then start to walk your hands back, providing you with support as you slowly roll up your spine until you come to seated. Your head is going to be the last thing that comes up. Yes. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of a back bend here, so be gentle with yourself. We're going to have a couple of opportunities to do this back bend, so don't feel like you need to do the full extension. So feet out in front of you, your knees are bent, hands behind you, lean back like you're about to watch TV. I like my fingertips away from me. Some people prefer fingers in. For this version, it's whatever feels best. Press through your feet and your hands. Lift up your hips, reverse tabletop, reach the back of your tailbone towards the backs of your knees. Press through hands, lift up, reach the crown of the head away from you. On an exhale, lower all the way back down. Make sure your fingertips are spread really wide. Strong base. Bump your bum down. And then on an inhale, press through feet and spread hands, spread fingertips rather, lift up. Crown of head way back behind you. Reach out to the tops of your knees. Exhale slowly until your bum taps down. 2 more times like that. As you're lifting up, be sure that you're pressing with everything that touches the mat. Give yourself a moment of rest when you drop your bum. Awesome, and come all the way back down. If you've got props and you like to use them, this is where we're going to come into the gomukhasana. So if you know that you like to have blocks, just set them next to you. So to come into this posture though, take your hands to the backs of your thighs. I'm going to provide a couple options here. Lean back, straight spine. Right here, you're going to feel your feet become like a little bit lighter. This is where you want to keep your feet planted and you're working on your core strength. Shoulder blades are back. Just breathe. We're gonna roll onto our backs really, really slowly, so sneaky core. If you want a little bit more intensity, bring your arms out in front of you as you slowly, slowly, slowly lower. Resist the temptation of lifting up your feet. This is totally up to you how much you want to make it. And then come all the way down onto your back. As advertised, we're going to take a Supta Baddha Konasana posture. So if you like your props, make sure that you've got, again, your blocks are about in line with your knees. You're going to start to walk the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to drop out wide. So this might feel perfectly comfortable just as is. I also recommend press through the outer edges of your feet that are touching the mat and your hands. Lift up your hips slightly just so you can tuck your tailbone down a little bit more. So it's like more of your back is on the mat because thumbs and stuff. And then let your knees drop out to the side. Also press through the back of your head, lift up your back, slide your shoulder blades down. So you've got some expansion through your chest as well. Just as we did before when we were finding the softness and the surrender, I invite you to do that here. Is there any place that you're holding on to tension that gravity can do the work for you? Just let the weight of your body pull down towards the mat. As for your arm placement, you might choose to have your arms alongside your body a little bit wider away from you, as we did at the beginning of our class. You could place hands on belly, one hand on heart. Or if you're looking for a little bit more intensity, you might even place your hands towards your inner thighs, slightly more weight, not to push down, just the weight. You've been here for a little bit. Is there anything you're holding on to that you can release? And if you think so, you're not really sure, you can always take a deeper breath and then have a more active sigh and let that kind of course through your body. And you might find that there are parts of your body that release as well. It's okay to encourage yourself in this manner. And then once again, take inventory. Does something feel different than it did at the beginning of this class? Does one side of your body feel different from the other? It's not good, it's not bad. It's just the way it is. Three more long, deep breaths. The end of your third exhale, take your hands to the outsides of your thighs for a little bit of an assist and start to walk the soles of your feet back into the mat. Use your hands to help your thighs up. You've been in this position for some time. And then knock your knees toward each other. You might walk your feet out slightly. You don't want to go too far, but just enough so you feel more of your back flatten out. Just relax here. And then re-walk your feet so that your knees and feet are in line with your hips. Walk your feet a little bit closer to you as we take a figure four posture. So you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, flexing the foot. Your right knee works away from you. You can take your strap around your left thigh. You can take your hands around your left thigh. Lift up your left foot. So interlace fingers or wrap around. Release your shoulder blades onto the mat so that your head comes flat. Again, flexing your right foot. Start to draw your left thigh in toward you as you reach your right knee away from you. So this is going to be an active version of this posture, but you're going to let your left foot go soft. So a little bit of mental brain exercise here to keep one foot flexed and active, the other one release. I always think that's harder than it's, I mean, it's harder than it sounds, that's what I meant to say. It's also harder to speak. So you're making the tiniest motions as you're gently drawing your left thigh in closer to you. See if you can find those movements on your exhales. Again, what's happening with the left foot? Is it soft? Three more breaths. At the end of the third exhale, release the strap or the grip of your hands. Let your foot come down. Uncross the top leg. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Drop both knees over to the right. 2 breaths. Both legs up towards center. Drop them over to the left. 2 breaths. And then point your knees back up toward the ceiling. Walk your feet back in so that they are in alignment with your hips. I'm going to take the other side. So cross the left ankle over right thigh. Flexing left foot. Let the left knee going to work away from you. Lift up the right foot. Strap around the back of your thigh or take your hands. Some people prefer to grasp onto your shins. Totally fine as well. So again, this time left foot is flexed. Right foot is relaxing. You're going to draw your right thigh in closer to your body as you work your left knee away from you. Flex left foot, relax the right. Soft jaw, long neck. Adjustments on exhales. Three more breaths. At the end of your third exhale, release the strap or the grip. Place your right foot down. Uncross the top leg. Separate your feet out a little bit wider. Drop both knees out to the left. 2 breaths. And then over to the right. 2 breaths. Take your knees back up to center. We're going to set up, we're going to do that bridge sequence that we did at the beginning of class once again. So walking your heels slightly closer to you, arms alongside your body. Again, make sure that you're pressing down through your upper back. This is really essential for keeping your lower back safe. Press down through your feet and your shoulders. Wave your hips up. We're going to come into a traditional bridge pose first. Again, option. Palms to the mat. Outer edges of your hands to the pinky edge. This might help you get a little bit more lift. And if you'd like to take it, again, further still, wiggle your shoulders underneath your back, clasp your fingertips. Take the opposite clasp if you did this before. Press down through pinkies and forearms. Reach tops of your thighs away from you. Press down through your shoulders. Find lots of lift, breathe. And then as you're ready, we're going to reverse as carefully as we entered. If you took the shoulders up version, unravel from your shoulders and clasp your hands. And then we'll all start to slowly lower down through your spine. Maybe at the end, lifting up your heels, give yourself a little bit more space through your low back. And then drop all the way down, heels drop. We're going to take the bridge flow here, so a little bit less intense, so we're reversing. Lift up your hips, lift up your arms, backs of hands might touch the mat behind you. Optional, lift up your heels if you like. On an exhale, roll your spine down, take your hands alongside your body. Move with your breath. Twice more. All right, at the end of that exhale, when everything touches the mat, bring your knees back and toward your chest, wind relieving position. Rock a little side to side if you'd like. If you're in a happy baby, you can certainly do that. You take your hands to the insides of your knees and grasp for your feet, or maybe your calves, your ankles. And if you've taken the happy baby pose, release your feet. And we're going to take a position here where we've got like we're sitting in a chair. So you've got your knees bent and you've got a 90-degree angle between your calves and your thighs. Press down through your lower back. Bring your arms out to the side for support. You can have your hands up or down, again, whatever feels best for your chest. You're going to do your best to not use your arms so much except for to balance. So you're going to rock both knees over to the right, your left hip comes up. And then on an exhale, you're going to bring your knees back to center. See if you can maintain that 90-degree angle. Inhale, drop them over to the left. Exhale, back up to center. I know it's intense. Inhale, take it to the right. Exhale to center. You don't have to drop your knees all the way down to the mat. Just take them down so you can feel it. It might be a lot, it might be a little. Your exhales bring you up. Your inhales are taking you out to the side. Once more at either side. And then come back to center. Pull your knees to your chest. Just get soft. Let your belly go soft once again. And then extend both legs out in front of you. First, just give yourself a little bit of a shake. Your knees are bent for some time. So rock your knees from side to side. Maybe do a little bit of hopping with your thighs onto the mat. And I want to take a gentle supine twist, not a core twist like that. So pull your right knee in towards your chest and then draw your knee across your body. Extend your right arm out so you've got some support. Press through both elbows to lift up your back to accentuate this the twist if that works for you. And if it's comfortable on your neck and back, send your gaze out over towards your right fingers. Allow your eyes to close. On your next exhale, bring your knee and your head back to center. Extend your right leg out in front of you so that you're both extended. Take a moment here. Just acknowledge the way that one side of your body feels compared to the other. Does it feel like you have different length, temperature, size? Maybe it feels exactly the same. And then on an exhale, pull your left knee in toward your chest. Right hand to the left thigh, so you can bring your knee across your body. Supine twist in the opposite direction. Again, press through your elbows to adjust your shoulders as you'd like. Gaze up beyond your left arm. Allow your eyelids to close if that is comfortable for you. On your next exhale, take your head and your knee back to center. And then extend your left leg out beyond you. So both legs are straight. Once again, allow yourself an opportunity to scan your body, starting from the soles of your feet, moving up your legs, your pelvis, your torso, down your arms, up through your neck, and then through your head. And then take a scan in the opposite direction. If your eyes are not already closed, I invite you to close your eyes. The final posture of this class will be Shavasana, corpse pose. Once again, if your low back is starting to talk to you at all, feel free to bend your knees and then let your knees drop in toward each other, supporting each other, or place something underneath your knees. Let your calves become soft, kneecaps drop, heavy thighs, heavy hips, pelvis, soft belly. Shoulders release back. Slight bend in your elbows and curvature to your fingertips. Acknowledge the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your wrists, the outsides, the insides. Let your bottom jaw separate from the top jaw so you can drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth, creating a little bit more spaciousness and hollow cheeks. Your eyes and eyelids feel heavier, allowing for a smooth forehead. And just be. Begin to draw in a deeper breath. And then a longer exhale. And then start to invite movement into your extremities, allowing them to become larger. And when you're ready, roll around to one side, traditionally your right. Pausing for a few moments. Give me a little bit more time and take it. And with your eyes closed as best you can, make your way to a seated posture of your choice for a very brief reflection. We're going to take that same breath once again. If you prefer to stay with your natural rhythm of your breath and continue to breathe, if you'd like to follow me, take a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue. Continue with one more round of that practice if you're taking the box breath. And then resume your typical breathing. First, bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Then on an inhale, take your arms out and up, palms press above your head. And on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then down to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart. Symbol of honor and gratitude and of humility. Thank you so much for sharing part of your day with me. Thank you for sharing your practice, and thank you for helping me deepen my own. May we all simply be. In the name of the highest good. Namaste. Everyone's becoming unmuted.